Hey, it's Justina. So I want to talk to you about awakening. That term sometimes gets broadened or is broadly overused. Sometimes awakening out of the matrix, becoming aware, becoming awake, the great awakening, right? But I wanted to talk to you today about what that actually means, waking up, right? And actually kind of what that entails. So, the first level of awakening is realizing maybe there's something more to what's going on in the world. That maybe there's something more to you than what you're experiencing in your life right now. I think we all kind of have come to a point in our lives where we're like, I was made for something more than what I'm living. And realizing that there is something more, that there could be something more. And so, and then that waking up is like choosing to be and have something more than what you're currently experiencing in your life. And a lot of times that develops that requires personal development, right? Then you start looking into, you get spiritual. A lot of times people start going to church at that time. They start seeking something that's that's spiritual, that's higher, that's something different than what they've experienced, than what they're experiencing in their reality right now. Then, or that could also mean, personal development. People start watching channels like this, right? Listening to videos like this, and starting to tune in and just go, I know there's something greater out there or in here. And what is that? And so that's the first level of awakening, right? Believing, becoming aware that there's something greater than what you're currently experiencing. Or maybe not everything is as it seems to be, right? Waking out of the matrix, right? Realizing that we are in this programmable kind of universe and we've all just like going through the motions. And so that's like that first level of waking up. The next level of waking up or becoming aware is becoming aware of the 80,000 thoughts going on in your head every day. Like, you are probably not going to become aware of all 80,000 thoughts, but it's becoming aware that there are thoughts that you're thinking, a dialogue that's happening that might not be serving you, right? When you make a mistake or you do something and you're like, oh, that was stupid. Who are you talking to? Most of the time, we're not talking to anybody. We're talking to ourselves. How many times do you have a conversation with someone you don't like in your head and you play this dialogue back and forth in your dialogue and you just prepare yourself to have this conversation, or you're mad at your boss or you're mad at your spouse or something and you're going through this dialogue in your head about that, right? Or this dialogue about how tough life is, right? Or I never have enough money, or God, I wish I could afford that, and she has nice things and I don't have nice things. Or I remember a time in 98, 99, 19, right, in the 19th century. I remember a time sitting at McDonald's with my kids at the play place, and they were playing, and I remember sitting at the table thinking, literally, I could hear myself thinking out loud, none of these people would like me if they really knew me. None of these ladies would like me. And feeling judged, even though I didn't know any of them. I was judging myself and just automatically just making assumptions about people that were kept me contracted, kept me from reaching out and making friends. And that was when I really started noticing I have thoughts going on in my head that are not necessarily beneficial to me, but didn't realize that I had the ability to actually change those thoughts and take control of that. So that's that next level of awareness or awakening, is learning to take control of your thoughts. Realizing that your thoughts that you're thinking, you don't have to think. That you have control over your thoughts. The next level of awakening, third level of awakening, is recognizing feelings, right? Your thoughts create feelings. Your feelings create thoughts. And then we have this circle, this loop, right? So a lot of times people run through these, get massive anxiety attacks, and that's because they have a thought that triggered an anxiety, an anxious feeling, and then that anxious feeling triggers more thoughts. They have a thought that makes them sad or feeling like they're not capable, or like they're not good enough. They have that thought, and then that thought creates the feeling, and then that feeling creates more thoughts. And so you have these loops just constantly going on. These loops that, and they're usually, unfortunately, they're negative until you start to awaken to them, and then you can start to create different kinds of loops, right? I teach people all the time that in order to break out of an anxious or depressed loop, gratitude. Start thinking things you're grateful for. If you start thinking things that you're grateful for, your brain cannot be both grateful and anxious at the same time. You can't be both grateful and fearful at the same time. You can't have both at the same time. You can have one or the other. And so if you're taking control of your thoughts and feeding the body the feeling state, eventually the feeling will have to come along in a line with the thoughts, right? You get to break that loop. There's a technique called EFT, which is tapping, right? And you tap certain meridian points that will break that chain of command between the brain and the body, so that you can stop that chemical reaction going on that when you're in a anxious loop or an angry loop or a sad loop, whatever, you can stop that loop from going on, right? Even though I'm feeling anxious right now, I still love myself. Even though I'm anxious about this meeting, I know I'm still worthy and I love myself, right? And you just kind of tap through those things, and as you're tapping the meridian points, it breaks the connection between the brain and the organs that are secreting these chemicals that are causing you to feel a certain way. So that's a third level of awakening or awareness, is becoming aware of the feeling state in your body. And now I'd say the fourth level of awakening and awareness is now learning that you are a conscious creator. Now becoming the conscious creator. Now saying, okay, this is what I'm thinking, and now this thought, I'm going to create this feeling, and allow this feeling now to, this focused feeling, or this focused thought and this focused feeling, start to control my reality rather than reality controlling me. And this is how we break out of the matrix, right? This is how we break out of the reality that you have. So you first learn to control, wake up, realize that something's going on, that your environment, you're not in control of your environment, to now become the believer rather than the beliefs, right? Notice that you are something greater than what you're believing. Take captive your thoughts, right? Make sure that you know what you're thinking and take those thoughts captive. Becoming aware of what you're feeling and letting go of those feelings that are not serving you. And then learning to be the conscious creator of your own reality. Recognizing that the reality is just a mirror. Everything that you experience in the outer world is a reflection of your inner world. And so that's a really great way of observing what's going on the inside. And that's a huge level of awareness, of waking up, is recognizing that we're living in a world that we're creating. Our inner world is a reflection. Our outer world reflects our inner world. Period. And when you wake up to that and you become aware of that, then you can start to control that and dominate that. And then when you are able to start to control your reality, your personal space, your own environment, then you start to be able to influence the environment that you're in. influence the house that you're in, influence the relationships that you're in, influence the world. And this is, my friends, how we bring peace to the world, is we be peace inside. When we are peace inside, we'll see peace in the world. Be the change you wish to see in the world, as Gandhi said. Hope that helps. Have a great day.